If I sound weird, I'm a little sick right now, so please forgive me. Anyways, question 1. We were asked to make these regressions in order to find the demand functions for each of these. So as you can see in the first one, for the quantity of AT&T, this intercept right there minus the price of AT&T right there plus the price of Verizon, and then vice versa. Same thing for the quantity of Verizon. You have the intercept, the AT&T price, which is right there, and then it's a plus because it's a substitute, obviously, and then Verizon is a minus since it's its own product. So obviously, the higher the price goes, down quantity goes. Standard quantity functions, demand functions that we've been doing the entire time. Questions 2 and 3, I heard they might be optional. Here is my work for them. Obviously, here's the profit functions. Basically, I just took the profit functions that are up here and plugged in accordingly to find each of these. And then I took these. I used, I think, this one when I was actually foiling it out. You can look through my work here if you want. And I came to essentially these exact. I was off from these ones by like a little bit, but they were just rounding errors, so it's basically the same thing. Question 4 was just basically stating that those are the reaction functions. Question 5, what I did is I had these like comparable prices, and I used for each of these, I used the reaction functions, but this one I used like an inverse reaction function. So as you can see, it's the reaction function of the price of A, basically in its inverse form, and that shows us, when these cross, which is, the optimal price point that each of them should be setting based on their costs and their reaction functions. And so I plugged in for this one just the price of Verizon's reaction function, and again, this one was the price of AT&T inverse reaction function. Question 6, kind of like I just talked about, it's asking us to calculate the best response prices based on their reaction functions. So what I did is I just took the reaction functions and I plugged in basically each of these into each other, and they just, since the reaction functions, they just find the optimal price given these formulas. So right there is that formula. If I go over here, it's just the inverse, so C107 references the price of AT&T. Now, if Verizon cuts to $25, AT&T should cut its price to, I said $22.95. Basically, I just did the same thing, but instead of putting in like the reaction function, I just said that Verizon is pricing at $25. And the same thing, but for the inverse, it says if AT&T raises its price to $30, then Verizon should raise theirs to $32.02. If I were the manager or the data plan manager at AT&T or Verizon, I would charge $25 and $29.98 respectively. Because of marketing, these might be rounded, but these are the exact prices that we found based on reaction prices that would profit maximize according to their demand functions and their respective reaction functions. Obviously, with oligopolies, there are situations where each of them can make more, but because they are like in some level of competition and for that quantity, they have to react to each other's prices. So yeah,